Welcome to Get Heavy Podcast. With your host, Craig Casamas and Big J Curran.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Get Heavy Podcast. Today we have a fucking awesome guest that was so kind enough to, in between the endless touring, come down and hang out with us for an hour or so. We got Kyle Smith on the pod. Welcome, brother.
What's up, guys?
Appreciate
What
you
at?
coming in.
Good morning.
There was a
Yeah.
general confusion.
That's
this
exactly
morning
how
with
I'm
you
feeling. Yeah.
yeah, totally. I shot the message and I was all, he probably thinks this is Zoom.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he responded, I was all, and then there we go. But I really do appreciate you making the time
Yeah,
for us,
man.
dude.
I'm glad you guys were 20 minutes away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
And not 3 hours.
You know, I started second guessing myself because it's like you're supposed. I don't know if anyone knows, but you live in Ventura, right?
Yep.
I was all, motherfucker. I hope he lives in Ventura.
Yeah.
You know.
I was thinking the exact same thing. I hope their podcast is in Ventura.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I live on the East End, but we just got. This is our studio. We just got this.
Nice.
This is like our what?
It's a cool
third,
spot.
Third
Third
podcast
yeah.
in here. Or
Yeah,
something.
nice.
Got out of my garage, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is nice. I don't have kids and dogs trying to rip down the door while we're doing it. You know?
Literally.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, dude.
It's hard to
Yeah.
act like a good dad.
Yeah. That's how he learned. That's how he learned how to edit. Was getting out the kids out of the fucking post and stuff.
Totally, man.
Yeah. Or the dog comes busting out the door and comes running over and licking on you.
Cut that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, I appreciate you coming in. You have been seriously busy. It's
Trying.
how much touring have you been doing in this last year or so?
Over the last year, it's been roughly like 130 shows a year.
That is nuts.
Yeah,
And
man.
so it's pretty much been like 1 month on, 1 month off, you know,
Really?
this whole time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ever since, I mean, I quit my full time in 2022 in like February.
Okay.
So ever since then, it's just been like, you know,
You went all in, just
Yeah.
grinding.
Yep.
What were you doing for work?
I was working for a medical supply company.
Oh,
So
okay.
I was a rep for a orthopedic bracing company. So
Okay.
like wrist braces,
Sure.
Yeah.
you know, back braces, shit like that.
Yeah.
I was there for 7 years.
You got a knee brace for an old man?
Yeah.
I got knees and ankles.
Yeah, fuck yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I'll probably still get you one.
You got the hookup, dude.
Yeah,
Medical
fuck yeah.
supplies, what's up, dude? So that's amazing. So in the last year, you went a year and a half. You said you went all in on music.
A couple
huh?
years ago
Couple
now.
years
Yeah,
ago, okay.
yeah. It's been a little over 2 years now since I put in my notice.
Yeah.
How good's that feeling, man?
It was very. I don't know, man. It was one of the most freeing, but also biggest changes I've
Apprehensive,
made.
like a little
Terrifying.
in like
stress.
10 years, you know.
Yeah.
So luckily I was in a really good position. You know, I had a really supportive boss, and he was super nice and very,
Yeah.
very, you know, really like dug everything I was doing. And
Yeah.
every day it'd be like, oh, okay, so what's the next
Yeah.
song? What's the next merch thing? He was super like cool like that, you know.
That's
so
dope, man.
So when I walked into his office and I was like, hey man, you remember that thing we talked about? I was like, it's
Yeah.
fucking time, you know.
Yeah.
He was like, all right, well, let's you know, win you off slowly and give all your accounts to everybody else working in the office. And
Nice.
he kind of like let me come in whenever I want for like a month, and then you know, then we had like my official last day and shit.
Wow.
So yeah,
Hell yeah.
That's
man.
awesome, man.
good company, man.
It's
Yeah.
a beautiful thing when someone goes all in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's,
The courage and the heart that it takes to actually just do it.
Yeah.
You know, to just give up. Okay, look, man, I'm just going to do this, and I'm going to give up all the safety, comfort to just full time it.
Benefits,
You know? Yeah.
401k.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Hey man, I've been at a job for 16 years that
Yeah.
I don't mind the job. It's just all the stuff that goes along with it. You know, I like the work itself, but a lot of the times it's kind of a nightmare as far as just dealing with the people. And I'm not giving up the benefits, and I'm not giving up the time off and the pay and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's too much.
Yeah.
You know, but man, there's been a bunch of times where I'm like, man, I wish I could just dump this and go, you know, but I don't have your voice, you know, or your looks, or, you know, obviously you're, you know, been working out, nothing. I mean, there's not a one thing about you that I'm doing,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I I don't know, man. I think the most important thing when I started was just touring consistently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just making friends everywhere, you know?
Are you doing all of that? Are you booking everything?
No,
Thank
no.
God.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That is because
You know what?
I toured for 10 years solid,
Yeah.
like playing metal all
Yeah.
over the country and shit. And there was a point where we were playing like 100 shows a year.
Yeah.
And I know that
You were
grind,
doing all your own booking?
for the most part, dude. And it was fucking brutal, you know?
Yeah.
And we were playing on our best 300 to 500 cap rooms
Yeah.
and our worst a fucking basement in the middle of Iowa. You know what
That's
I
awesome.
mean? So it was like grimy.
We're still doing that.
Yeah, I mean that's how it is, right? But to get
Yeah.
a booking agent
Yeah.
is the hardest shit on earth. It's harder than a label. It's harder than anything, you know. So if you got someone that's helping you with that now, like, good for you, man.
Dude, I'm so lucky.
Are
yeah,
ya?
Yeah. My buddy Tim decided he wanted to start booking bands, and we were like,
It's not Tim the Turtle.
no.
okay.
His last name's Azarano. We call him Tim Azzy, and
Okay.
he's from San Diego. And a few years ago, when I was getting ready, told him like, dude, like this shit's getting too out of control. Like I think I made a post on Facebook,
Right.
like I don't know how much longer I can keep doing all this shit,
Totally,
you know.
dude.
And he actually hit me up and was like, hey man, I'm thinking about starting to book bands. And he's like, I've been talking with this guy, and he's been teaching me a lot of stuff. I'm like, let's fucking go, dude. Yeah. So yeah, usually, at least so far in my experience, anytime I've like gave somebody a shot that like maybe they're not a professional, or maybe they don't have an agency, but they're just like a big supporter and believe in the fucking mission.
Right.
Usually when I give people like that a shot and they join the team, it like works better than I could have ever fucking imagined.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, because they're hungry. They're
Yeah.
not jaded. They're not. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, and
Tim's the
grateful,
man.
grateful to have the commitment and
Oh,
not.
dude, changed my fucking life,
Yeah.
man. The second I let him, so 'cause I used to send like 500 emails every Sunday.
It's
you know,
brutal, dude.
every Sunday I would fucking copy and paste 500 emails to 500 different venues, all just changing the date and the names.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like oh, you're Wednesday, June 31st or whatever.
Right,
you know what I
right.
mean? Like typing all these up every Sunday, and then I'd get like 4 back every Monday.
Jesus
Every Monday I'd get like
Criminy,
4
dude.
back. You know?
Yeah.
It's
And this
so
is why
brutal,
I'm
man.
still at the same job, because there's no way I would have done any of that.
Yeah. So I wanted to actually ask you. So where did you grow up?
So when I was really little, I was in Camarillo.
Okay.
Like 4, 5,
Okay.
6, and then pretty much my whole teenage years was like a different, like every 3 years was like a different city.
Moved a
So
lot.
I went to I went to Camarillo High School for a little bit.
Okay.
Got kicked out of Cam High. I went to Rio Mesa for like 3 weeks. Got kicked out of Rio Mesa.
Nice.
Moved up to Redding with my mom.
Okay.
And I was, didn't graduate high school up there,
Yeah.
and then moved to Long Beach and just like started getting real bad into
Mm-hmm.
shit. And then when I was 20, I got clean and moved to Riverside.
Okay.
And so I basically like been in a different city. I've never
Every-
left California.
Yeah.
But different
Yeah.
city. Whenever anybody says like, where are you from? I'm like, fuck, dude. how much
California
how
in
much time
general.
you got?
What was the catalyst behind that? What created that? Because I went through the same thing. My dad was a heroin addict, so
Yeah.
my whole life I went to 13 different schools before I went to high school.
Yeah.
So it was a constant move. But the thing that caused all that was my dad's heroin habit, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden it's, hey, we got to move, boys.
The reason for
You know?
everybody moving, just parents just trying to get away from each other.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which makes for a nightmare.
Mom moved up to Redding. Dad stayed here, and then it was just the constant back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, you get this time with, and then it
But
ended
good
up-
parents just didn't get along.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, they're amazing, and I love them. They did the best they could.
Individually,
Yeah.
I was also a shit face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it takes a long time to realize like how much of a shithead you were.
Oh, dude.
Like, I'm in my like late 20s. I was like, yeah, I was an asshole.
I was
what
horrible,
Yeah,
man.
I mean,
I was
and now I
horrible.
have teenagers, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I
dude.
can't say good or bad parents. I mean, I love them both so much, you
Sure.
know. But
Same.
but people made mistakes, you know.
Yeah.
And people, everybody makes mistakes. I was an ungrateful little shit, and I fucking had a temper, and I was emotional, and fucking lost my shit at the smallest little things, and they were kind of the same way at the time, you know.
Yeah.
Sorry, mom. Sorry, dad.
Hey man, you fucking that's how.
Yeah,
how
but
it works, you know?
we've luckily, we've done lots of like, we've done. We've done all those things that you see on TV, all the group therapy sessions and like things.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, like all like that super heavy shit where you're all in a circle and like.
Oh damn!
when
You
I
guys
was-
actually.
Oh my
were
God,
trying.
dude!
Oh,
Yeah, you
yeah.
guys actually worked it
when I
out.
was in,
Yeah.
when I was in treatment, they made us do the whole like sit down face to face and like, how did you hurt me? How did I hurt you?
Wow.
What do I love about you?
Oh,
what
my
do you love
God.
about me? Like create like shit like that. You
Well,
know?
that's
That's
great.
awesome, man. I couldn't
Yeah.
even. I couldn't even imagine trying to sit down with my dad and go, "Hey, pops." And my dad's one of my best friends in the whole world. I
Yeah.
love him to death,
Yeah.
and he's been clean since he was in his 50s, and
Yeah.
now he's in his 80s, and
Yeah.
but I could not imagine going, "Hey, Dad, let's talk about emotions, bud." You know, he'd go, "Yeah, okay, go fuck yourself." Yeah, we're not doing that.
It's very. I mean, not to get too personal, but it's very hit and miss with him. You know, he's a really Dad. You're a fucking. You try to fucking act like a hard motherfucker, but you're a softie.
We know.
Yeah.
My dad's the same way, dude.
And we know our parents aren't listening to this, because if my dad was listening
he'll
to this,
see
I'm
this
not.
shit.
Oh, no,
For
my
sure.
dad has no idea how to listen to a podcast, and so yeah, if not, I wouldn't be saying anything. You know.
Yeah, it's a tough one, man. So what, like, you're a kid, you start fucking dabbling with drugs. Like, what was the drug of choice? What I mean, if you're comfortable getting into that stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you know, I hate to do the whole like, oh, it started with smoking weed. But
It always
like,
starts with weed.
yeah. I mean,
Weed is a gateway.
we all
drug.
try something
Everyone calm
first.
down. You know?
Yeah.
It starts
It
with
is.
coffee.
It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real about it.
Yeah.
You
For
know,
people like me, it is.
Yeah.
But it's not for everybody. You
Yeah.
know, some people can smoke weed for the rest of their lives and be like, oh, this is still
I
gets
don't
me
need
high.
coke.
you know?
But okay, but along
Yeah.
with that, it goes. It's like you go like, "Hey, I think I'm gonna have a cup of coffee," and so
Yeah.
you start. You know, it
Yeah.
just you start with whoever your personality leads you to the
Well,
the way. You know what I mean? Whatever that is. You know, because we like none of us are. Well, nowadays I see it, but when I was growing up, you didn't just have coffee. You got coffee when you're an adult.
Yeah.
Then you kind of lead into, well, now I can have coffee and I'm an adult. Let me have a cigarette.
Yeah.
And then you get that cigarette and you're like, well, let me have a joint. And then
Yeah.
you know it just kind of slowly progresses, and depending on who your friends are.
It's just the fact that getting high is really fun sometimes.
dude,
you
it
know
was
what I mean?
just it was so much
Yeah.
so fast, like so young for me, you
Yeah.
know. And my pops worked from 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. every
Okay.
day. So,
Oh.
so he would leave at 9:40,
Sure.
9:15 every night, and it
Right.
would just be fucking on, you know.
Yeah.
And I was 14, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So I was 14, open pad, 10 p.m. every night by myself,
Right.
and I could do whatever the fuck I wanted, you know.
Right.
And all the kids that, you know, all the other kids like in town, like this is in Camarillo actually. All the other kids, either from broken homes or whatever. Like my house was like the spot
The
where
spot,
everybody knew they could get high without anybody coming and fucking with
Right.
them.
Yeah.
So we did whatever we wanted, you know. And when I was 14, it was just like try whatever the fuck you want, try anything you can get your hands on, you know.
Right,
And
right.
so yeah, I mean, by the time I was like 14, I was like, you know, sneaking in between periods and doing lines in the bathroom at
Wow.
Cam High and shit, and like, you know what I mean,
Wow.
like just like any pill or coke or whatever the
Whatever
fuck.
I could do.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
anything
Yeah.
I could find, man, and anything that I knew was gonna fuck me up or make me feel differently, I was doing it,
Right,
you know,
yeah.
Yep.
and I think that's, I don't know, I think that's kind of what separates like recreational users from fucking addicts. you know what I
Totally.
mean?
dude. Yeah, it is. So how long did the drug use continue? Like, was there a turning point where it just was out of fucking control and that's it?
Well, I was like, I knew it was a huge problem way before I stopped. You know what I mean?
course,
so,
yeah.
so when I was 17, moved to Long Beach.
Okay.
And then, you know, get in a fight with dad, get kicked out of the pad, and then I'm like strung out on heroin, couch surfing, sleeping in skate park bathrooms, like
Right.
sneaking into people's garages and like sleeping in fucking like breaking into houses just to sleep in the garage. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like shit like that. And I did that for like 3 years before I was like cornered by the cops over here by the government center in Ventura, and the cop just said, "Hey, dude, you can either go to treatment or I'll take you in right now, and we'll take, you know, they wanted to do like the 48 hour or the
Hold.
yeah, they wanted to do the hold, right?
Yeah.
And I had like a loaded syringe in my boxers while he's talking to me, and I'm like, "Fuck, dude! Like, what am I gonna do right now?" You know?
Wow, yeah.
So this whole time he's having this conversation with me, I'm just like, "All right, I'm gonna do whatever this guy wants me to do." So he'll leave me alone, and I was like, "Sure, I'll go to treatment." I was like, "I'll try it right fucking now," and then I ended up staying for 6 days at the detox up on the hill at Vista.
Yeah, Vista.
And, yeah, I went to Vista for 6 days, and then instead of going back, I went to a residential program in Riverside.
Oh, okay.
And so I was there for, you know, I did 90 days of the intensive inpatient, and then I did like a year of sober living
Wow.
where you're in natural recovery homes, and then I finally moved out when I had 1 year.
Wow.
Awesome, man.
So you did it one time, you got sober one time, and
Yeah,
that was it.
yeah.
That's amazing, dude.
That's
you know,
good parents,
we had-
man.
yeah.
I think that's having a good support system in parents.
Yeah,
know?
mom, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Thank God for them, man, because they were ready to chase me to the ends of the fucking earth
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
I killed myself. You know?
Yeah.
I did
She
this-
found me on the sidewalk in Long Beach, and
Really?
that was how it was just a whole 48-hour shit show of her and my dad chasing me back and forth with the cops between Ventura and Long Beach,
Wow.
and me like, you know, saying that I'm going to do something and then sneaking out and stealing everybody's money and then going to the, you know, back. I think there was one payphone in Ventura by Enterprise Rent-A-Car and Toys R Us, and over there on Johnson.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
There's
That's
one
where I
fucking
grew up,
there's
so,
one
yeah.
fucking
I use
payphone
that-
there.
I use the shit out of that.
There's
payphone,
one
dude.
payphone
Yeah,
there,
totally.
and I remember like telling my mom like, oh, okay, you know, I'm not gonna go to rehab, but I'll prove to you that I'm not on drugs. And I tried to like stay the night at her house, and I was just kicking and puking and you know what I mean, throwing up and shitting and you know like doing the whole withdrawals at her pad. And she's like, dude, there's something fucking wrong with you. And then when the second they went to bed, I dipped again, grabbed all my shit, skateboarded down the street at 2 a.m. down Johnson, hit that payphone. You know, hit the girl in Long Beach and was like, you need to come up here and get me. I got $70. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
Yeah.
man.
and then, it was a 48-hour fucking mess. And then it ended up just with cops everywhere, all around me in that government center parking lot, just saying, your choice, man.
And that was
Yeah.
it, and you made the choice.
I
dude.
fuck-
It's
dude,
incredible
yeah.
that it stuck after the first try. You know what I mean? It's-
I was trying to fake everybody out. You know what I mean? They were all sitting there like, look at yourself, motherfucker. You
We
know what I mean?
know.
Like I was 113 pounds.
wow.
Yeah.
I had scabs from the top of my fucking forehead to the tips of my fingers. Like I would pick every single fucking inch of my skin. And I tried, you know, they were like, you're a fucking mess, bro. Like either
Yeah.
stop fucking lying, either stop lying or we're going to take you to jail, you know?
Yeah.
So I had like this moment where I was just like, fuck it, dude. I got to tell everybody what I'm doing, you know?
Right.
And in the middle of him fucking with me and interrogating me, I was just like, all right, I'm a fucking heroin addict. I'm a meth addict. I can't stop.
Right.
I want to fucking die every day, and I'm fucking miserable, and I
Wow.
don't know how to get clean, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you did it though, man. It's just
It's amazing, man.
So far.
It really is.
So far, I know, right?
Yeah.
It's a day
It's
at
been
a time.
10 years now.
10 years sober.
Yeah.
Went through the same thing with my kid.
Yeah.
And as the parent watching my daughter do that, where she got down to being skin and bones,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm the only like her parent and watching that go down, and then I'm in denial, you know.
Yeah.
So she
Yeah,
comes
yeah.
home and she comes home and I'm sick.
You want to believe her?
And everything she said. No, my
Yeah.
daughter ain't lying to me.
Yep.
Get the fuck out of here.
My dad was the same way.
Yeah,
man. He
it
did
didn't
not want
matter.
to fucking believe it, dude.
It wasn't happening.
I bet, man.
He found a
Didn't
big
happen.
ass fucking ball of heroin on the counter one time that I hit in the bathroom at his house, and I just either nodded out or I was just so fucked up I just like walked out of the bathroom and went to my
Yeah.
room and left
Right.
it on the counter, and he's like, "What the fuck is this?" And I told him it was weed resin.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, yeah.
And if
I was like, "It's just a big ball of resin, Dad. Don't trip." And
No,
he's
also
like,
don't smoke it.
Yeah.
"You fucking with me?" I was like, "No, I swear to God, it's just
Oh,
resin." And like
man.
he wanted to believe me so bad, you
Wow.
know. And it's crazy, man. It's crazy how much you take advantage of your fucking loved ones.
Yeah.
And
And how much we live in the whole completely blind to what's going on, knowing like I grew up with a heroin addict.
Yeah.
I grew up around junkies,
yeah,
and I still watched what was going on and just kept like going it, but I also kept doing where it's like, no, you're gonna go to rehab, we're gonna
Yeah.
get you there. First rehab was garbage.
Yeah.
And then got her into Cottage Hospital up in Santa Barbara,
a good
and
spot.
then
Yeah,
she did the exact same thing.
yeah,
She did treatment,
yeah.
in-house, sober living, and
Got it
just got through it, man. And it's just amazing that to see people get through that, because it's the minority, it's not the majority.
Yeah. There's so many other places I could fucking be right now.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
And
yep.
So
You know?
when does the music come in? I mean, obviously, I would assume you've been playing guitar and stuff since you were a little kid.
Yeah, yeah.
But did it take you getting sober to really kind of focus up and start writing, or
Dude,
what's your music path like? Were you in other bands before this, like
No,
little punk bands or nothing?
No, I never thought that I'd be doing music.
Really?
Man. Yeah.
Okay.
It was never. There was like maybe like a period when I was like, I don't know. There was a period maybe when I was like 16, when I
Okay.
was like before I got into the really gnarly shit, and I was just like a super like psychedelic stoner dude. You know what I mean? I was like 16-year-old kid, long hair, Bob Marley tee. You know what I mean? I was that motherfucker.
Totally,
you know?
for sure.
I was that dude for a little while, just because of a lot of mushrooms and and I don't know, man. I never thought it was possible. It was just a hobby, you know what I mean?
Right,
It was just a
right.
hobby that I kept, you know, either to myself or with my close friends. It was something that I like just would do like on my own time, and I never recorded anything. I never made music or
Really?
yeah, I
Yeah.
never was in any bands. I'd never jammed with anybody.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, man, I started posting little videos on Facebook maybe when I had like 6 years clean.
Really?
Yeah, I
Okay.
started like getting. It took me so long to be comfortable in my own skin,
It's-
and
yeah,
you
it's
know what I mean.
terrifying, yeah.
It's you know it's. I don't. It's a horrible analogy, but like I feel like being an artist is like being a stripper, where like you're like totally putting yourself out there for everybody
Totally.
to see. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
it is, and then you realize at first everyone's all, okay.
I'm sure there's
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of
Here's
strippers that will
$2.
I'm sure there's a lot of strippers that will disagree with me.
Yeah.
but
Well,
but-
it's very to put your thoughts and words into something and present it to the world.
you're burying yourself.
You are,
Yeah.
you know, and
You're
that's
burying
what like
yourself.
I've been jamming your tunes for the last like week or
Thanks,
so.
man.
You know what I mean? After we talked, and because I don't know, I met you at the Ceviche Festival. Do you
Yeah,
remember that?
yeah, yeah,
Okay, so
yep.
I kind of approached
At the
you there.
Oliva Adobe.
Yeah, yeah, and I saw you. I was like, and I've heard your name, and your merch
Yeah.
game is fucking on point. I
Thanks,
will tell
man.
you. But what I really loved is that musicianship wise, because I'm a fucking dork with music.
Yeah, me
You're
too.
playing solo. You're running loop pedals.
Yeah.
You're doing some pretty advanced shit, dude. Like,
Thanks, man.
You know, for a guy that was never in a band, and you just
Yeah.
started this journey on your own. It's pretty impressive, dude.
Thanks,
like,
man.
Because it's an embarrassing endeavor for a long time to
Yeah,
be a
yep,
musician.
yep.
It's mostly no's, and you're just like you have
7
no
years of just fucking getting shit
Nothing.
talked to you, dude.
Yeah, totally.
7 years of getting shit thrown
Pretty
at
much,
you, dude.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you
before
keep
anything
going.
good came, you know.
Yeah, and that's a pretty fast growth. You know what I mean? Like
7
really,
years?
7 years is like not
Yeah.
bad. You know what I mean? I've played music since I was 15 years old in bands, and
Yeah.
and it wasn't until I hit my mid-20s that we started doing shit. You know what I mean? So
We,
it's like,
we still have shows where I'm like, what the fuck am I doing, man?
Dude,
you know,
yeah.
we still like very rarely. It's like once every. It's
Yeah.
like once every. It's like
Yeah.
once every year or two now. We have those shows where I'm just like,
this
should I be
isn't
doing
working.
this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like we could crush it for like an entire 18 months and have like one bad show. And
All
I'm
it
like,
takes
I'm
is
like,
that
"All right,
one
guys."
show.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'll give you a quick one. We were on tour once. The tour was doing really well. We were
Yeah.
selling out of merch like every fucking week. You know what I mean? And we get this show, and this is in the MapQuest days, right? So you didn't
so you're
have like,
fucking-
there's no confirmation
Yeah, yeah,
numbers, you know.
yeah.
So we get a show in DC, right? And it's my birthday, by the way.
Do you remember the venue name?
It was a fucking Chinese food restaurant. Right? It was
Love
like
that.
right next to the Black Cat.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Somewhere
Yeah.
in that vicinity.
Yeah.
The 930 Club.
I
Somewhere in there.
I love the area, but playing in DC
Yeah,
is always a shit show.
it's always a
bro.
shit show,
Always
right?
tough.
So we get there. Shows have been killing it, dude. We show up to this place. It's a Chinese restaurant that is not open.
Yeah.
And I'm calling this kid who booked our show, 4
Not
months ago.
answering.
Someone answers, and I go, "Hey, is Jared there?" And she's like, "No, he's grounded." And I'm like, "Excuse me?" And she's like, "I'm like, well, we're a band, and he booked this show." He's all, "Jared's 16, and he got caught smoking pot." Oh my god! It's like we had been having such a great fucking tour,
Yeah.
and then you get
Nothing?
one, and it's
Nothing?
just nothing,
Nothing?
not a show,
Just totally fucked.
totally completely
Wow.
fucked. So I got hammered. We got
Damn, that's
hammered at the
wild.
930 Club, and you know what I mean. It
Yeah.
was just, but it's those little moments where you're like, everything seems great, and then you get one moment. It's like, oh, here's what you're really doing.
Did
know
you go
what I mean?
find Jared later? As
No,
he's coming out of
no,
his
I
house
didn't.
after we expected. Yeah. Couldn't just start
Yeah.
beating
Fuck him
on
up.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you get those moments, on tour, and
Yeah.
I just don't think people know how boring it is for the most part. All the driving and all the shit. The show is amazing, you know what I mean. But it's
Yeah.
a lot of hurry up and wait.
Yeah, it's
You know
just
what I
you're
mean?
just you're a fucking professional mover and you get to play guitar.
That's
like,
a
for-
really good.
you know what I mean?
That's a really good analogy.
You're a professional mover and you fucking play guitar for there's an hour of fun every night. You know what I
Right,
mean?
yeah.
There's an hour of fun and that's it.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
what's your setup? I know like he lived in a homeless van.
guitar-wise?
No, as
Oh,
far
oh.
as like yeah.
So
You just
now,
seem like you would have a much better setup than Craig had. Whatever
So you
whatever
know what?
it is. Yeah, Craig
Oh.
You know
Craig
what?
seems
We-
like he would have been in the back of a
so-
station wagon.
we
No,
were in
we
a
did vans and
we were in
two
my Tacoma, dude.
Ooh,
we were in
yeah.
my Tacoma for fucking 3 years.
Yeah.
and I just fucking got our first passenger, our Ford Transit. So
nice.
Those big Ford Transit 350 XLTs.
Yep.
Tall
Tall
ceiling.
What a joy that is, huh?
Bro. Fucking game changer, man.
Yeah.
To stand up and pee while you're barreling down the highway is like crazy, dude.
Yeah.
So yeah, that just everybody having, I mean, not, I love the guys and they'll tell you the same exact thing, but just us being an additional 4 feet away from each other.
It's incredible, yeah.
Fucking amazing.
Because I've always said being on tour is like having 4 girlfriends.
Because everybody's like this before. Everybody's like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we're literally like I'm driving and everybody else is like this
You're
in the
nuts to
Tacoma
butts, dude,
for like 13-hour drives.
Totally, yeah.
You know what I mean? And when we go, usually if we start an East Coast tour, we're driving straight from Ventura to Albuquerque day 1.
Right.
And then from Albuquerque to St. Louis day 2.
Right.
And then from St. Louis to fucking, Pennsylvania day 3.
It's brutal, dude.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude, I am so crazy that I could not even imagine. There's no way I'd have to drive the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting in the back seat squished between people.
I'm the same way.
Yeah,
I'm the
there's
same
no.
way. I just now got a tour manager and let him.
Oh, cool.
He helps drive, because
TM,
he's a few years older than us and
Nice.
Retired firefighter. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
super
that's
cool
good
cat.
dude.
So he just it's not like he does it for the money. I mean, I can afford to pay him $100 a day.
Right.
You know, but he just really likes us and wants to help us and support us.
That's beautiful, man.
And so he's like the first dude I've ever let all right, I'm getting in the back seat. Just fucking take everything. You know what I mean? First time I've ever just like relinquished control over the driving, which I really needed to because I was like,
I'm a.
You got to do that all
eyes were
day
fucking
and then
bleeding,
do a
dude.
show.
yeah.
And then
it
probably
was
wake up and
getting
do it
gnarly.
again. Yeah.
It was getting really gnarly because usually we'll hammer like a 6-hour drive before like with the way that our routing is. I just tell my agent like, dude, just no more than like 7-hour drives.
That
please.
if you can do that in America,
that's an
you're
easy
doing pretty
day.
good, dude.
Yeah.
Please no more than 7-hour drives.
Yeah, my band, we toured more on the East Coast. We toured, I think, 3 East Coast tours before we ever did a West Coast because just the amount of fucking driving and time you can
East
play.
Coast shows are dope.
They're
dude.
amazing. Yeah, you can drive 2 hours. You're in a completely
Everything
different
is an hour and a half
metropolis,
away.
Yeah,
you
it's
know what I mean?
beautiful,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
So we
same
would
with
shoot to
Florida.
the East Coast and go down,
Yeah.
and then shoot back and hit a couple shows on the way back.
California tours, like West Coast tours, and then like if you start talking like Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, anything like that, you're looking at like 7-hour drives in between every day. You know?
Any like bad, like hopefully no bad accidents or nothing,
we've gotten in so January 22 wrecked the Tacoma and a U-Haul full of gear. Flew off the highway in Arizona. Nobody got hurt, luckily,
Thank
but
God,
this fucking dude was in the middle lane. So it's a 2-lane highway. We had a guy with one of those big Tex trailers that are 100 feet long. He swung a wide right turn from the middle left lane.
Why not? Yeah,
right in front of us, and I had no choice but to dive off the highway over these concrete security poles. Dude, you know what I mean? They went up under my truck and just ripped my fucking tires, my wheels in half, fucked all my shit up. Dude. So we were out on the highway with all our shit spilled all over the fucking sand.
Ruined the tour?
No, you know what? We luckily it was the last show. We were actually on our way home.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. At least, huh?
We were on we were on our fucking we were like, fuck yeah, we crushed that last show, and then
Brutal,
we were on
Let's
our
go home, smooth sailing from here, dude. You know?
we were on our way home, and
no recourse.
Huh?
No recourse, because I know dude didn't stop. You just
Oh no. He stopped.
Oh, that's
nice.
Did
he really?
Oh, he fucking stopped. Yeah, he for sure. Well, because he was turning right into the gas station that we were.
Oh, okay.
So we were going straight. We were on to the right of him. I guess you can't really tell by the way on the screen, but we were to the right of him. He was making a right turn from the left lane right in front of us.
Oh, okay. All right.
So we had to dive off of the highway.
Yeah.
And it was so I actually, the cop gave me a ticket because I swear to God, the cop
probably because you had California plates.
Probably, but the cop gave me a ticket. He said, "We have probable cause that you were going faster than you should have been going, and that this wouldn't have happened if you weren't speeding." And I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And we were like blown away, bro, because I left. We left with my truck getting towed and we threw all of our. Luckily, I had a really good friend named Burke. Shout out to Burke in Phoenix, who came out 2 hours away out to the middle of the desert in Arizona and came and let us put all his gear in his truck and gave us a ride to the shop and shit.
That's crazy.
I would have lost my shit,
oh,
dude.
dude.
I'm losing my shit right now.
I couldn't fucking believe
I
it.
swear to God, dude,
What are
that
you-
cop
what are-
and I
what are you
would have
gonna do,
probably
though?
ended up.
Yeah.
I'd ended up in a fucking fist fight with the
Yeah,
cop.
yeah.
I'd have been calling him a punk.
yeah.
I'd have been talking shit.
Yeah.
What are you fucking talking about?
I bitched
you
out,
worthless
man.
piece of shit.
I
What the
bitched
fuck are
out.
you even talking about?
This is why
I'd have
Jay's
lost
not
my
allowed.
fucking mind, dude.
So, yeah.
The second he did that, I'd have lost my shit.
It was a pretty
I would
shitty
have been in
day.
jail right now.
It was a pretty lame
Yeah.
fucking day.
Dude.
so,
I'm fucking angry.
So the
Fucking guys.
But that so. You know what the fuck? I just had to eat it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I
of
was like,
course.
okay, you know, I'm fucking done, bro. Like it's been a long day. I don't even want to fight this shit.
Right.
Like fuck it, do whatever you're gonna do. You know. So and I think it was like a trainee situation too, because there was two of them, and he was like telling the other guy how to do shit. So I think if he was alone, it would have been a little different. But yeah, he wrote me a ticket for speeding when they didn't even know. I was going the speed limit, and it was like 45 through there, and I was going like 40. I was going exactly 45, and they saw the security footage about 20 minutes later, and that cop called me and he said, "Hey man, we saw what happened. Crumble that shit up, throw it away."
Wow, that's
Oh, Jesus,
Thank
okay.
God.
Ooh, I'd have been sitting in the cell. He wouldn't even have to call me. He'd have just walked into the cell. Hey, man, sorry about that. Oh, all right.
Yeah, so they saw the footage, and then luckily it didn't get added to my record or anything because they saw what the fucking guy did, you know. But
Jesus Christ.
yeah, so I didn't have a truck for like I didn't have a truck for tour for like 3 months, and I rented a lot of fucking cars.
Yep.
Yeah.
We all drove. We couldn't tow anything because
Right.
we were all doing rentals, so we all had to. It was a very, very weird 2 months of touring where we had to make. We couldn't cancel a single show. We had to make every single show happen, and we all drove different vehicles from different places and borrowed cars from different people.
No
And,
stress.
It's like a
yeah,
spider web
yeah,
of-
yeah.
How
That
many guys are in your band?
So I
many
have a
do
bass
tour?
player and a drummer, Scott and Chris.
That's
and,
just-
yeah, we're
okay.
just
Three.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. It's
yeah.
amazing.
So we just do the power trio thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Smart.
Hey, so, man, cramming in the back of that Toyota is not
Sucked.
that bad when there's three of you.
well,
Yeah, but you got
and
so
merch girl,
much
merch girl
shit.
too,
Yeah.
and
so
there
you
there
had
was
something to snuggle up with.
There was no, she's ass kicker.
Merch girls are off limits,
Yeah,
dude.
1000%.
They're fucking workhorses and they're fucking amazing.
Yeah,
most of the
especially
time.
when they're good.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. There's nothing better than a fucking great merch
Dude,
person,
she
you know what I
kicks
mean?
ass.
And you guys go. I mean, I can't imagine you guys don't all get along and shit, but
Yeah, we
you know,
do.
Yeah, it's
We do, yeah.
because that is such a big deal. I mean,
Yeah,
because I
we
always
have
said
to.
that being in a band is like having 4 girlfriends you can't fuck.
Yeah.
It's like you're just in a relationship with these people, and if you don't get along, dude, and you find out real quick, and after about 2.5-3 weeks, what's annoying about everybody.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
we all know.
Yeah, it's
We've been doing it long enough to where we all know.
Yeah.
We all know what to do and what not to do.
Yeah, like
to each other.
He's
you know
being
what I
too
mean?
much. I'm out of here. You
Yeah.
know what I mean, or whatever.
I couldn't
Yeah.
imagine anybody wanting to tour with me.
No,
This is a fucking
Not in a
nightmare,
million
bro.
years.
This is a horrible thing. I'm sorry. I'm not even doing it, and I'm sorry.
It'd be a fucking nightmare.
Oh, fuck.
When it comes to the music and stuff, you had an album come out a while ago.
Yeah, 2021 full
Okay.
length. It was called Lost Cause.
Yeah.
And then I've just been like trickling out singles ever since then. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like every 4 months.
So are
know?
you doing another record? Or okay.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
but
man.
you've just until then you're doing singles and stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
so what's crazy is when I dropped Lost Cause, it was 13 songs. And you know, I was really proud of it, but I noticed that like all the streaming and everything with the way the content is digested now, with all this fast paced shit and all
Yep.
these fucking reels that are 10 seconds long that grab your attention. It's just like, hey, boom, 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 done. On to the next one.
Yeah.
Everybody has that mentality of just scrolling,
Yeah.
fucking 5-second attention span,
Yep.
and that's it. You know, on to the next, on to the next, on to the next.
Yep.
There's so much amazing content that is just constantly just fucking whatever, next one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, not only do you have to make some pretty amazing, mind-blowing shit just to even get anybody's attention. I mean, luckily, I'm in a scene that is very, very small and tight-knit, and you know, I know that.
And good people.
Yeah, really good people. I'm not where I am because the fucking music is amazing. It's like it's because of hard work and support and building friendships and being tight with people. You know.
Yeah.
Music's pretty good, bro.
Thank you. I hope so.
yeah.
If I can ever get to
Yeah.
that point, I'll be stoked.
Yeah.
But
I was listening to it on the way here.
Thanks,
and
man.
I hadn't.
Thank you.
And not the biggest reggae fan.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it's not really.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
but
really
no, that's
call
what,
it reggae. You
no,
know?
it's not. And
Yeah.
and so I was like, okay, let me check this out on the
Yeah.
way, you know, and put it on. I was like, oh shit, I'm when we get back in the car, I'll be listening to
Hell
it
yeah.
again.
Thanks, man.
You know, yeah, it was really
you.
good. Enjoyed it thoroughly. You know,
Thanks, man.
looking forward to listening to it a lot.
Appreciate it. So I guess the point is, the first like 7 songs on the record got the most plays.
100%.
The last 6 songs on the records got the least plays.
Yep. Yeah.
So if instead of putting out this record where people are going to listen to the first 4 or 5 songs and then, okay, that was cool, you know, and on to the next shit, you know, what's new, you know?
Dude, that's
So-
exactly. So I've been saying this for years. Albums are fucking dead.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, it is beautiful to put out a record, but as a musician, you work your ass off for a year to
Yeah.
write this record. You put it out, and like you said, you get 3 months of press at best.
Yep.
First 6 songs get plays. So I've always said, like, at the next band I'm doing, we're doing singles every 4 months, maybe a group of songs, a couple songs, and I think that's a really smart way to do it because we're in the age of 45s again.
Yeah.
We are in the age
Yeah,
of
yeah.
singles,
Yeah.
like, and you're lucky to get 2 songs on a fucking playlist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I really like that you're thinking about that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's always you're always thinking about like when you put your heart and soul into a song.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure that this is. I mean, you never get to release it twice.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
100%.
You can never release the same song twice.
Yeah.
Once you put it out into the universe or into the fucking algorithm or Spotify, you know, all that shit. Once you release it to the world, you
Right.
can't fucking re-release it or
100%.
redo it ever again.
Yep.
And I've only learned that from doing it the wrong way.
Right.
You know, like sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
but,
you're good.
Yeah, it's just I try to do everything to make sure that there's no regrets later.
Right.
And I think releasing music is a huge part of that, and trying to do singles one at a time, or at least the next time will be, you know, 3 or 4 singles and then drop the other, like,
Portion.
say if it's an album with 10 songs,
Yeah.
5 singles, leave 5 more when the
Right.
album comes out. You know what I
Totally,
mean?
dude. Yeah, that's a great way. When it comes to you writing music, for me, I'm always fascinated by, like, how does it start? Is it start with a riff? Is it lyrically? Is it is it all over the place? Is it a group effort now? Like, has it changed? You know what I mean? Like, what your process is? Because I'm a dork for that shit. Like, I'm a big fan of, like, people. When you put yourself in the position to create something, I really believe that you can grab shit out of the air. You know what I mean? Like, if you put yourself in that position, sometimes you just have to grind for it too, though, you know? So how does, like, writing start for you? Does it start with guitar, lyrics, a little bit of both?
Damn. Well, so I try really hard to make, like, my choruses or my hooks, like, catchy sayings.
Totally,
You know what I mean? So if I hear somebody, usually if, like, somebody's talking and I hear somebody say something like, oh, ain't that a bitch? You know what I mean? Like, some shit like that. I'll be like, oh, shit. Like, everybody can relate to that.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So if I'm like, you know, it'll be like mid-conversation. If somebody says something, or if I'm talking to somebody and I catch myself saying some shit that I'm like, like, damn, that'd be catchy if that was like a hook or a chorus or something, you know? So I'll usually, like, write that down on my phone, and then I'll go back and I will, like, try to put some sort of melody or some sort of rhythm to it. You know what I mean? Like,
So it starts
like,
lyrically for you. It'll
like
be
if-
a catchphrase, a line that catches your attention.
I don't know if it would be too much for me to do this right now, but
do it.
so, like, so the other day I was thinking about, like, being a kid and like being exposed to too much, too quick, too young, right? So my whole hook that I wrote was too much, too fast, and that was like my, you know, that will be like the hook for the song, you know what I mean? Too much, too fast, because I grew up quick, you know what I mean? So, like, I'll usually just find little phrases like that I think are cool or catchy or sound like dark. You know, I like dark theme, twisted kind of, you know, reality shit, you know?
Yeah.
And if I can put that with some, you know, cool drums or cool guitar riffs or whatever, you know, most of the time the lyrics come first, or the message. Because when I made a big shift in songwriting was when, you know, somebody told me, like, or I read it somewhere, it was like a big part of writing a good song is making sure that the mood of the song and the chords and the melodies match what the song is about.
It's
you know what I
definitely
mean?
True, yeah.
So if I'm like, I don't know, if I'm writing a happy song, it's gonna be major chords.
Totally.
You know what I mean? Major chords, fucking, you know, super sing along chorusy shit. If I'm writing a dark song, it's gonna be all, you know, minors, fucking evil sounding chord progressions. You know what I mean? Shit like that. So I try to make sure that the lyrics match the mood, or the mood matches the lyrics more so. But it all just, when I start tracking, it's all just I'll usually start with fuck. To be honest, I usually start with drums.
Yeah,
I'll start with a beat. You know what I mean? Like how is drums and bass. You know what I mean?
Are you programming at all?
Yeah.
Wow,
A scratch vocal track, right?
Sure.
Of whatever hook, you know, to a metronome. You know what I mean? So and then I'll fucking do a drum track. I'll play it on my little pad,
Right.
just to make sure, because I try to make sure that everything kind of has its own space, and that I'm not like hitting a important syllable or a kick drum at the same spot, so you can still hear what I'm saying. I don't know if that makes sense.
It totally
Yeah, it
makes
does.
sense.
Yeah,
It totally makes sense.
Yeah, but I don't know. I try to make sure that nothing is too busy, that everything is, you know, sort of on its occupying its own space, and that it doesn't get like too muddy or messy.
Right.
And usually I'll start with vocals, drums, and bass when it comes to that. You know, making sure that the bass line fits with the vocal melody,
Right.
and that it's not too overbearing, or it doesn't, you know, you're not hitting the same note at the same spot at some point. You know, it's very
So,
nerdy
Pretty
shit.
methodical.
Bro.
No, I love that's what I love. Dude.
So, but how
I love
did because if hearing your was your dad a musician, or did
No.
like where did that come? Did you just all of a sudden you get clean, you grab a guitar and turn into, you know?
Well, I've been playing since I was 7.
Okay.
Yeah, so I started playing and singing real. So my dad is a music fanatic, right?
Okay,
he
I
doesn't
got that.
play. He doesn't play anything, Dad. He doesn't play shit. But
But of being a big fan of music
Yeah.
and music growing up in your household is
yeah,
a big deal. dude. You know what I mean?
huge about like group like intently listening to records. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
And
What was he into?
fucking Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
He loved Nazareth.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
There we go.
Yeah.
Nirvana,
Craig's getting
Joe
hard.
Walsh.
Oh.
He really liked, you know, it's he was so trippy because he really likes, he loves like classic rock, but he also loves like grunge
Yeah,
and shit too.
yeah.
You know, he loved fucking Nevermind by Nirvana.
Same, man.
And he would like scream that shit to me in the car, bro. Like we'd be
Yeah.
we'd be driving, and he'd be like, "Come on, people now!" And he'd be like looking back at me, like screaming, like fucking like Jack Black, bro. You know what I mean? Like screaming at me in the backseat.
Thanks, Dad. Can I get
Yeah.
a donut?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he would be like, you know, he'd be listening to the Rolling Stones, right? Hey, you get off of my cloud. That was like
Yo.
he always told me that was like my first song where I was like,
Okay.
hey, Dad, do you hear that? So the little guitars in the background, and he was like, he said when you were like 4 or 5 years old, you were like, hey, Dad, do you hear that guitar in the background? And he's like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
was like, I don't know. He would point shit out like that to me, and he's like, you hear what they did there? And I'd be like, no, I don't hear that, but do you hear this? So we would always like,
That's awesome.
we would always
man.
like break down songs, and he still does that shit, man. Anytime I visit him, man, he's just like, he's a very, very deep music listener, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Where's
it's an
he at?
important factor.
Tennessee now.
Oh Lord.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. He sold his pad in Long Beach, and
Yeah.
moved to Tennessee about
That's a popular move.
2 years ago.
Yeah, that's a big
he's doing
popular
great. He's
move.
got a big old fucking log cabin on a 70-acre property and shit for what he had for a little 2-bed here. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as far as it goes, when you grow up around music fanatics, you know, even if you don't have it, but to understand, it takes a long fucking time to understand those minute things that you're talking about. You know, when it comes to constructing a song or building a song,
dude.
you know, not overplaying the part. You know what I mean? To step on your lyrics.
Yep.
And that's something that's like uniquely, if you're creating music a lot on your own, it's kind of nice because you don't have another fucking bass player sitting there going bow 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 bow, you know, the whole time, and he wants to do what he wants to do.
Yeah.
So you can kind of just present these songs a little bit, and I'm sure they get tweaked after that, right?
I mean, I dissect the shit out
I'm
of them
sure
on my
you
own,
do,
dude.
yeah.
I obsess over every syllable when I'm recording at home
Totally,
by
man.
myself, you know, and
do you do the major recording all on your own, or do you go to a
most of
studio
the
to finish
time,
everything
like
out?
if we have like a song that either absolutely needs live drums that just does not sound right and it fucking needs live drums, or if we have like a punk rock track or a faster one.
Right.
I mean, I've done like a couple like or at least one like ska punk track that's
totally.
like fast and full crashes, full fucking punk rock choruses and everything that sounded good, programmed, but there's some songs that you just can't substitute that shit. You know what I mean? So I have like 2 more for this next album that I really want to take to a studio and do live fucking everything.
Cool.
But I mean, I don't know, man.
But it's mostly in-house.
It's crazy
like
what you can do in your fucking bedroom.
It's
now,
amazing,
bro.
man.
Yeah. So like,
It's why it's just I'm shocked, growing up in the days of having the Tascam
Dude.
for track, you know what I mean? Like what you can do now, what these kids can do now on
Logic
computers.
Pro, man.
I know.
I
it's
use
like-
fucking
it's-
Logic, and I plug my
amazing.
guitar into my computer.
Right.
and
I
it gives
finally
me-
sucked it up, and I have a Helix, like those XL, the Line 6.
like
XL
a
stomps.
interface or so. Oh, okay,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
like
I know what you're
and
talking about.
I'm a pure amp like purist. I have
Yeah.
70s fucking Marshalls.
Yeah.
I'm like ridiculous at that shit. And my 16-year-old self would be killing me.
Yeah.
If they saw what I was doing.
You can tweak. You
Yeah.
can tweak. You can tweak.
so
every,
mad at me right now.
You can literally tweak every fucking aspect of tone
It's
in
crazy,
whatever you
dude,
want.
yeah.
And if you got headphones and a pair of monitors, and you can go back and forth and make sure that they're both like the same, and then you do the card. I'm constantly just going back and forth between my car and my fucking bedroom. Like I will literally like sit there and track something and mix it and then be like, take it out to the car. Like, nope, I got to go back to my room.
What kind of system do you have in your car?
Point.
All the time. Bro.
Listening in your car is
where everybody's
the most
Yeah.
important.
Oh,
what
dude.
kind of system do you have in your car?
Just fucking, I
Basic
don't know.
whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I
Mine's
had,
a little ridiculous.
I had what do you call it? Audio Tint Lab over in Ventura, Dustin.
Yeah, Dustin.
I had him
Big
put.
D.
I had him put like just a pretty simple system.
system
Nothing
in
too
there.
crazy.
I had
just-
him put a system in my truck.
Yeah.
And then went back
Yeah.
and said, "Nah, this isn't
Louder.
enough."
Dude,
Yeah.
he's the guy that when you're cruising down the street, you're like, I can't hear myself.
No,
breathe. Like,
yeah.
I think my blood
Yeah.
is fucking
I think I'm
flying
the
out of my
only
body,
one that
dude.
really likes it.
Yeah,
but it's
yeah,
so
it is for
yeah.
sure.
But I can turn it up really, really, really loud,
Yeah.
and you hear every little thing.
But
like
that's the
everything.
thing. That is
you
the
know?
true test. That does
Yeah.
your music sound good? If
Yeah.
it's in a basic ass car stereo,
Yeah.
and you can hear everything,
Yeah.
you've mixed that motherfucker
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
That's like one of the weird musician
I'm learning,
tricks
man.
that no one knows about.
I'm
you know what I
learning,
mean?
dude.
Yeah.
What's really important to me lately. I love that we're talking about music nerd shit.
Yeah.
What's really important to me lately is listening to it at a very, very low volume.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
if I'm mixing on my monitors,
Those things shine. The bad parts shine out.
well, that too, and and sometimes I can't even like tell where my vocals are really unless it's like turned down to where if it's turned down to where I can barely hear it, it's
Right.
like, wow, the vocals are really fucking loud on this, and I didn't even know because everything else was fucking blaring. So
Right.
I literally will mix the same song at 10 different volumes, 100 times,
Wow.
and on 7 different speakers. You know what
wow.
I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you get a good sounding record. And
Yeah.
Every song you put out, I'm like, it sounds amazing. It
Thanks,
sounds
man.
amazing, But
Uh,
I did want to ask. So,
yeah.
enough of music nerd shit. Obviously, you're obsessive with your art, right?
Yeah.
What do you have hobbies? Are you a conspiracy theorist? Are you worried about aliens? Do you have any do you have any just dumb shit that you're into that? Or is it just you stay on music and?
I mean, aliens are real.
Oh,
you
for
know?
Yeah. No, we're all there. We're all there. Yeah.
Because we're recording on Sunday,
Yeah.
and tomorrow is that lunar eclipse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
really? Tomorrow?
Everyone's
Yeah.
saying we're all
Nice.
going to die. Apparently.
Really? Nice.
I'm not much of a conspiracy.
I'm
guy.
ready for it. Dude.
I'm like,
We're
this
not
could
much
be
of
our
a
last.
how much we talk about conspiracy shit, and
Yeah.
neither one of us are like really conspiracy
Yeah, Kenny
guys. But
over
we
here
both.
is a whole
Oh,
nother
Kenny's
animal.
all about it. Yeah.
He's about to
Yeah.
storm the Capitol again.
Yeah. He's got a new outfit.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
shit.
always think because I'm like, this could be the last podcast ever. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
fucking, we don't know. So
That's like every fucking day for me, man.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's like,
Yeah.
So do you
I-
do you have dumb shit you watch on TV or just to entertain yourself? I mean,
fuck. I mean, dude, honestly, it's like if I'm not on tour, I'm home shipping orders. If I'm not shipping orders, I'm recording.
yeah.
If I'm not recording, I'm just doing this.
When
And
do you
if,
hit the gym? you obviously
usually
work
like
out.
11 a.m.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually I'll usually wake up like I've been pretty. I don't know, man. It's been. You get so used to being fucking nocturnal on tour. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Every night on tour, I'm going to sleep at like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And then waking up at like 10.
Yeah.
When do you work out?
Like 11 a.m. usually, like every day.
Like when you're on tour and stuff, do you bring stuff? Or
Yeah, I mean, so I have I have a cable set that I bring.
Oh, yeah.
I have a
Yeah.
cable set that I bring into the green room, and it has a pull-up bar, fucking pull downs. It's a whole like cable set that you can like attach to the door and then like do curls and shit. I bring that with me, even if I just get it in for like 25 minutes. After we sound check or whatever, I'll do that. But if we have time and if it's a short drive day, we'll go to Planet Fitness in the morning for sure.
Yeah.
Because they're fucking everywhere. It's like the Walmart of gyms now.
It is.
So yeah, we'll do that, and we'll do that usually for like an hour a day. Me and Chris, and yeah. I mean, other than that, I mean, it's mostly just when I'm home. I just try to tune up when I'm home, and then just like, all right, I'm preparing my body for another month of fucking harm, bro.
Yeah, because the touring.
I'm about to be as healthy as I can for the entire month that I'm home.
Well, the
I'm
fact
about
that
to
you're
abuse
sober
my body for
helps,
a month,
right? I mean, because getting drunk on tour
I can't
for
fucking
night,
imagine.
I don't know
how these guys do it.
I did a fucking 40-day tour playing in 2 bands. And I played twice every fucking night, and I thought I was gonna die.
Yeah,
man. I mean,
super
and I
gnarly.
was drinking. I wasn't. I don't get too. I didn't get crazy on tour, but at that everyday grind, being in a different time zone, you have to stay healthy, man. I mean,
I understand why everybody does blow.
Right.
I totally get why everybody does cocaine, man. And I mean, I haven't really thought like, oh, fucking coke or speed would help my situation right now.
It's never.
I haven't really thought that.
Anybody.
Never helped. Anybody.
Drinking
Keith Richards.
definitely. I wouldn't even make it to the stage if I drank. You know what I mean? I would never fucking play the show. So I don't know, man. It's
a grind.
I just have to sleep as much as possible,
Right.
and anytime, we stay with friends and family on tour, like we don't do hotels, we don't do Airbnbs.
Oh, nice. That's
I will
smart.
not leave my fucking shit out of sight, my trailer, my gear, anything. I will not fucking if it's not within 20 feet of my fucking head while I'm sleeping, we can't go there. You know what I mean? It's just one of my rules. I have to be able to hear if the fucking chains clink on that trailer. I'm fucking ready, bro, for anything.
Has you haven't had any thievery or anything?
No.
No theft. Thank God, right?
It's crazy, man. It happens. It happens to a lot of people.
It's so common now.
I just try to be so. I just try to be emphatic about fucking just making sure.
You got all these little trackers that you can put in.
That too.
You can put a little iPod tracker.
But once it's gone, you're fucking done, dude. I mean,
mean,
replacing gear is almost impossible sometimes. You know what I mean? It feels like it's especially if you got old shit stuff.
Yeah.
And once it's gone, it's fucking gone. You just can't do. I've seen a million bands like their whole like that. I don't know if you heard that band Russian Circles like a few months ago, and they have the nicest gear on planet Earth. 3-piece instrumental band, really good. Everything they had was stolen. I mean. Beautiful vintage amps, and you're just like, God, you're never getting that back. You know what I mean?
So I just do anything that I can to avoid that. Not to get too personal, but we fucking totally carry across the whole country. You know what I mean? Like I'm fucking strapped all the time. Not
Come
to be,
at me, bro.
Not to be a douche, but like,
No,
we
dude,
gotta-
we
we got to be ready for anything, and
I mean, I don't ever carry anything, but
I shouldn't talk. Never mind.
No.
Never
oh,
mind.
you're
Scratch
good.
that.
you're not a
can't
felon.
carry anything.
Yeah. But where we got guns and
You're ready.
safes and shit.
You're ready.
And fucking, we have all that shit. So
when,
I mean,
what's the next venture? When are you splitting on tour again?
April 27th. We
April
dip.
27th,
Yeah,
huh?
we head for the East Coast again. So we start tour May 1st in St. Louis.
Yeah,
So
summertime stuff.
Basically, late spring, early summer. We're doing like 27 dates for 7 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's gonna be we hit St. Louis May 1st, and then we do all of basically all the Midwest, all of upper Northeast, New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, that whole area, Maine, Worcester. We're doing like all kinds of beach towns up in the Northeast when it's starting to warm up, and then we're hitting Florida with Badfish.
Okay.
Ooh,
We're doing 3 shows with Badfish on the Far Side in Florida that I'm super
Nice.
stoked
Far
about.
Side,
Yeah,
dude.
super
Hell
stoked.
yeah.
And then we hit some of the Carolinas, and then come back to Ohio, and then drive straight home for Scott Brown's wedding. My drummer.
Oh,
so.
okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you're just planning to keep on just book tours every other month.
Yeah,
or
I'm trying to do
something?
I'm trying to do less. I'm trying to do less shows, but bigger shows.
Yeah.
Less bigger shows.
Less is more a
So
little bit.
I
you
feel
doing
like
festivals and stuff.
Yeah,
or-
yeah. We got 5 festivals for the summer locked in. So we're actually playing in Canada for the first time in a couple months.
Oh,
we're
cool.
doing the Victoria, BC Ska Fest with.
Nice.
Did you get all your shots and stuff? I know that Trudeau's got you covered as far as like making sure you're covered.
for?
Just the
Trudeau
COVID
man
and
is
fucking
is all
whatever else
about
they got
getting
going
all
on.
the shots.
Oh,
and-
really?
Oh
dude,
yeah.
Canada?
nuts.
Yeah.
dude.
Canada?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you
Have ever
definitely
been
don't
there?
do conspiracy stuff.
Oh shit!
Trudeau's
No,
like
we've never
Trudeau's
been.
garbage, man.
I have a lot of friends that tour, and I have friends that had got a DUI 20 years ago. And
Oh
don't
yeah,
get
yeah.
denied
As
it,
far
you
as
know what I mean? Like,
with the records
getting
and
over the border. and
Yeah, with
shit.
the records and everything. Luckily, the whole crew is good. No felonies.
Yeah.
You don't even need a felony. I had a friend that got a
yeah,
DUI in the 70s.
Yeah,
and he won't let
DUI
him
too.
in.
I don't think
that's
any of
good.
us have gotten DUIs. And I'm trying to think of what else. What's the other? You said something about what the COVID?
just getting.
Oh
into
yeah,
Canada
yeah.
and
They're
around,
a
dude.
little obsessive about stuff right now.
Really? They do
Yeah.
the vax checks or something?
Well, I don't
They
know if
used
they
to,
really
but-
do, but they're pretty gnarly about
Yeah, they
how
just
they
outlawed
deal with
all
everything.
handguns.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're crazy.
I
out
gotta.
there.
We gotta figure that one out.
Yeah, I figure I have to leave 'em home on
Because
that
I
one.
think they have like crazy like scanning machines when you drive over the border
Yeah,
now
it's
that go
no
through
joke.
your whole fucking.
Yeah, we did a
They
tour.
do, huh? Yeah. Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
maybe leave them at home for that.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
Fuck.
we did a tour through Canada and fucking got ripped out of a hotel room by the police at
What?
like 2 a.m. in Edmonton. The
don't
cops.
play.
We were warned when we got there that the cops in Edmonton didn't play.
Yeah.
And something happened, and there was an argument between the guy at the reception counter and one of the members of the band. And the fucking guy at the counter called the cops, dude.
I'll
And they
fucking
came
kill
in.
you.
They came in the hotel
What?
and beat us the fuck up. dude.
Really?
I mean,
Wow.
just beat us up, roughed
Yeah.
us up real
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
threw us out of the hotel. I mean, and we were on the road. At
This is when?
This is in mid 2000s.
Okay.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was on tour with that band Jackass. You know, I don't know if you're
Yeah,
familiar
I
with
think
that.
so. Yeah.
They're my uncles.
Okay,
Toby
nice.
and Ross from Raging Arbor and the Red.
Yeah,
Hairs.
yeah,
So
uh-huh.
those are my uncles. Right?
Okay. Cool.
Anyway, I was on tour with them, and they beat us up, dude, and ripped us right out of the hotel room, and were like, "Get the fuck out of town!" And you're like,
Damn.
"What?"
Crazy.
And so I was driving through
Batons and
Canada.
shit?
Huh?
Batons and everything.
Oh, they
Just
fucking
you up.
chokeholded us, hit us a couple times, grabbed our shit, was just throwing our shit out the door,
Yeah.
dude. Like, so I was driving. It was freezing, like winter Canada.
Fuck that.
Negative 19 degrees. I was in a sleeping bag
Yeah.
in my full jacket, driving.
So gnarly.
You know, it's just like so. Yeah, I mean, not that you're gonna have that experience. in
Yeah, I hope
Canada,
not.
but- Yeah,
I don't think so.
Yeah, right, but
Yeah, we got to take a couple ferries actually because it's
cool.
Yeah.
we're going to
Victoria Island?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's awesome.
So we got to go from Port Angeles up in Washington, and we got to take. I told them we have a 32-foot setup, and I had to pay a certain amount to get.
get it all in there.
It's crazy, bro. All the
gonna
fucking
be cool, man.
all the logistics that go into all this shit, man. Just
is this your first time out of country with the band?
no, we've done Mexico.
Mexico,
Yeah,
okay.
we've done Mexico,
No
but
Europe or
first time to
nothing yet?
Canada. Yeah, no Europe, no anywhere else. I would love to do Japan one day.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, Japan
Yeah,
would be
hell
sick.
yeah.
It'll
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
Chris Nishida speaks very my bass player. He speaks very fluent Japanese too,
Nice.
so we could fucking
And there's a beautiful
Get
scene
around.
for music out there, man.
Yeah,
I got
yeah. A lot of
friends
people
on
like
tour out there right now.
our genre. Like there's a lot of people that out there that like love Sublime and Long Beach Dub All Stars and shit
Yeah.
like that. I've seen Long Beach Dub go out there a few times over the past 5 years, and it seems like they crush it, man. So I would love to join that or be a part of that.
It'll
someday.
happen, dude. I mean, you keep
Yep.
grinding. Look, you're
Can't
one
stop.
of the I've been following you for a while. You're one of the busiest fucking humans I've ever seen. You're constantly out there putting out music, putting out.
Thanks, man.
I mean, just the shows alone, that's in itself is a feat to continue that train. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, congrats to you,
Appreciate
man.
you. Thanks, man.
Where can everyone find all your shit, especially your insane? Do you have too much merch? That's what I want to know. I saw your merch setup. I was like, oh my god!
I'm
Like,
currently downsizing.
are you?
Yeah.
Dude, I walked into.
Sorry,
that thing,
KP. Yeah,
I was
we're
like,
downsizing
damn,
right
dude.
now. So
I mean, you had 20 plus shirts. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
22 different.
where can
kind
they
of-
find all your shit?
And
buy it, please.
KyleSmithMerch.com.
Okay.
If you Google who knows after this shit, this British lady shit, Kyle Smith thing, but
Oh, is there something going on?
yeah, there's there's a video going viral right now where this lady says this guy was like filming this girl that was like bitching about him about parking in her spot, and she was like, "My boyfriend is Kyle Smith, and if you don't come down here, he's gonna make you move."
No way, really?
And the video like went viral, so right now I'm getting like bombarded with like all these messages.
Oh,
and-
they think it's you?
Yeah, so,
Dude, it's brilliant.
so right now, I mean, you might see something different if you Google Kyle Smith right now.
Okay,
but
yeah.
usually when you Google
Yeah.
my name, my website is the first thing
Yeah.
that pops
You,
up.
you know what the move is, though, right?
Yes.
Get the audio
yes.
from that video and splice
Yeah.
it into a
Yeah.
song.
Yeah.
You can get sued for that shit.
I'm
if
sure
you
you
know what I
can,
mean,
yeah.
without their permission. But
Well, just
I
AI
mean,
it.
Yeah,
I've got-
I've
got a few. I've got a few where I've like pulled.
Turn it
like,
into a song.
Yeah, I've pulled
Yeah.
little, I've pulled little fucking, I've pulled little like clips off of like viral videos and
Yeah.
shit for
Yeah.
songs, like
That's
shit
awesome,
that I
man.
just think is like hilarious. I'm like, that needs to go in there. You know?
Awesome,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Well, like I said, your songs are beautiful. The lyrical content
Thanks,
is
man.
killer. It's uplifting. Obviously, you have a wild past, and I think you're doing a really great job.
Thank you.
Putting people in, allowing people to understand the perspective of what's happening, and that there's fucking hope for people, man.
Oh, yeah.
You know, which is
100%,
beautiful.
man.
So
Yeah.
I really
Your story's
appreciate you coming
amazing.
on the pod,
Yeah.
dude. It's
Yeah,
been,
man.
It's been
Yeah.
awesome.
I never knew there was I never knew that people that did what I did got out. You know what I mean?
Right,
So,
yeah.
So if I can, if I can do it loudly without being a douche or preachy about it,
There you go.
I'm gonna let people know that you don't have to fucking die. You know
It's
what I mean?
needed.
Yeah.
It's definitely needed, man. Everybody's stories needs to be heard.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you, man. Thank you
Oh
so
yeah,
much. for
dude.
coming on
Thank
the
you
pod.
guys, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
We're out, guys.
All right,
like
peace.
it, like, subscribe, do all the fucking things.
Yeah, check
Tell
out
your
Far
friends.
Side. Check out the Far
Blah, blah,
Side.
blah. Check out the merch. Get Heavy Pod Shop. Check out the Patreon. These episodes go up a day early. And support this man. Buy his
Heavy.
merch. Go to his shows.
Listen
download
to his music,
records.
man. It's awesome.
All right. Bye.
Thank you
Peace.
guys.